Okay.
So they can hear us now.
Yeah.
So they can hear us now?
So can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
There was some gold there.
Yeah, there was a lot of gold.
I don't want to say can you hear me now anymore because I feel like a traitor with this Sprint guy who used to be the Verizon guy who's like a, yeah. Hey, Vincent, do your stupid I'm on my show face. There you go. Love it. Actually, I hate it. It's really horrible.
I'm on Vincent's show face.
Yeah.
I've known him for like 18 years.
This is the first time you've actually been on the live show.
Yes. Should I start it?
Yeah, go ahead and start.
Okay, so intro.
And we're live. We're back. It's Geek Out of Say. It's Friday and we're having fun. So, and we have a guest here as well.
Where?
Welcome.
Oh, right here. Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Studio.
Yes, first time here. I've known Vince since we were
and you've
knee
been
high.
in several videos of ours that we've made, but you've never actually been on the show. And this is the first time you've been on the show.
Yes, it
It
is.
took you forever, and that's why we're late.
Well,
It's all his fault this time. It
traffic was
Colleen's
horrible.
fault.
It wasn't my fault for once. It was Angel's fault.
But no, it is an honor to be here with both of you.
Thank you.
I've wanted to be on here forever, just because I love what you guys do. So.
Yeah, Mark Solis says, I can hear. Yay!
Yeah, you can actually hear everything. Yay.
Too bad you missed all the comedy gold from beforehand because we were pretty funny.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it was something else.
Hey, Vince was picking on me, and I'm devastated now. No, no, really wonderful guy. So, yes, as I sit here with the piggy bank, I want $1 million. No.
I should have left you
We're
there.
actually both really big Superman fans.
Yes, like I can tell you everything about Superman there is to know. Like his fighting style is Torgasm Round, Torgasm Row. I mean, House of L, means hope. His family crest, and huge Superman fan. Like,
So I'm digging it, but we've talked a lot about your company, Hebi Studios, and a lot of the stuff that you've been doing. But recently, just what happened, E3 just happened.
yes,
It did.
E3,
And a lot of cool stuff.
a lot of cool titles, a lot of cool games
Yeah.
coming out. I mean, I'm gonna be poor. I can tell you that. It's like
So I saw, which I'm really excited for, is
Metroid Prime
on the DS, but they're also doing it on the Switch.
on the Switch. The Switch one I'm more excited about.
But did they really show anything on that? Or it was kind of like a teaser, like, don't forget, like, this is a title that we still own, and we know that you guys like it, and we're bringing you something, but we're not really going to show you much.
Yeah, it was more just a teaser, but
Yeah.
it got a lot of people pumped.
Yeah.
The one for the DS, I'll still get it, just because it's Metroid, but
Yeah. But here's the thing: the Switch is kind of like, isn't it to replace the DS?
it is
Because it's a handheld as well.
yeah.
It's
So
both.
and that's one of those things that Nintendo's kind of confusing people with, because they're like,
Yeah.
you want us to take the Switch with us, but you're still making content for the DS, and pick one.
Now, does the Switch hook up, like, it connects to the TV as well,
Yeah.
right?
It's a docking station.
It's a
that
docking
you can put in.
station.
Yeah, there's a docking station, and like, let's say if I were going to visit my daughter in Australia, who I love very much, I would just take my Switch out and carry it to Australia.
Is the Switch what we were talking about, that they're going to do everything, like, digitally? Like, you're not going to get, like, an actual disc or anything? It's all going to be, like, in a cloud or something?
Well, no, you still get like physical cartridges. They're like about that. They're the size of a micro
Like the
SD
DS?
card.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
like smaller
Vince,
than
Mike,
DS.
can they hear me?
Sean, can
You
you hear
can
me?
hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah. It's coming through.
Yeah.
We got a hey from Nolan C. We have Fulgor watching, and Mark Solis right now. So
Sweet.
check
But
this
they
out.
can't hear you?
I guess I don't know.
I can hear him just fine.
I can hear him just fine
Let
too.
me-
I mean, I hear him.
Yeah,
Angel and I can hear him just fine. I don't know what
Yeah,
y'all's
yeah.
problem
Everybody
is.
can hear me.
If not, let us know so that we can try to fix whatever's going on with his mic if y'all can't hear him.
You know you
Oh.
won't hear.
Wait, what? Oh, what the hell? I didn't know that there were 3 mics on the thing. I think I only unmuted one.
No, it should
on
just
the-
be one.
it
it
should
should
just
just
be
be
one.
one
No,
manual thing
it-
for the board.
No, it was on everything else. It had you and everyone else muted. On the Vince cam, yeah, it had you muted on the Vince cam.
No, that's coming from there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah,
that
mute
should be
that one.
mute that for sure. Put that back to mute because then we're gonna have like this buzzing like in a bucket kind of thing.
Oh, okay, no, but all the mics are working. I can hear everyone.
Hashtag new producer problems. It's fine.
I'm still learning.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Sean.
John is
You should
actually-
see some of our first stuff. It was so bad. Sounds like we're in a bucket. Like,
What?
oh yeah, it's terrible. The videos when Vince had Vivian and McKenna on as his co-host.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
Oh man, those are some awful
Those are
videos.
some awful videos.
But
Well,
but you
we
learn
still talk
and you
about
grow.
good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, because, like the other day I went back and watched some of Vince's earlier stuff and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to have to pick at him about them. So, which, I mean, since we brought him up, let's
That was,
just...
that was some old stuff that we did back.
That was, and coming up soon, you're actually going to have them back on the show to
Yeah.
kind of like talk about where they've gone
I've
since.
talked to all of them except I haven't talked to her son yet.
Well, oh, what
and
about
girlfriend.
Omar?
I talked to Omar.
Shut
He
your
says
face!
yes,
Are
yes,
you
Omar's
serious?
coming
That's
back.
awesome. That's going to be great. So that'll be
These
great.
are people we actually had as guests on the show.
As co-hosts.
As co-hosts.
I
Oh
was-
yeah, as
I
well.
know. I was a co-host.
Yeah.
Sean was a co-host? Wow.
Well, not on the live show.
Not on the live
Yes, I
show.
was.
Okay.
On the live show, you
Yes,
were
I
a co-host?
You remember I was there live with y'all.
Which one?
Hopeful Survivor and Pokemon Go.
No, he means like they were like what I do for him now. Like I wasn't
Oh,
part of
an
the
actual
show.
co-host.
It was his actual
show.
co-host. Like,
Oh.
Yes.
yeah,
man.
like they ran the show for him. Like I used to write little like kind of like an outline script
Yeah.
for them because he and I have been married for, almost 18 years. So it's easy for us to get the dynamic.
What is
You put up with him for
the,
18 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we kind of flow more easily, but
On
when
the,
he has other
on the
co-hosts.
receiver?
Yeah.
The receiver?
Yeah.
Are you looking at the receiver?
Yes.
No, you're not.
I'm not.
The other thing. The
Oh.
other black thing that looks like this.
This thing.
Uh-huh.
The black box.
This
What's the channel that it's on?
47?
Yeah, I'm on 47. They should be picking me up.
They're
Yeah.
still saying they can't hear you?
Yeah.
I'm on 47.
Are you on 47?
Yeah, Angel's on 47. They can't pick you up?
No,
what
they're
the
not
heck
picking
is
me
that?
up.
Ooh.
That was me moving that.
Oh.
All right, talk for a little while. Let's talk.
Test.
Well,
It's
let-
working now.
Yeah.
Okay. Better.
Okay.
I
What
got
did you do?
your little thing was all the way down. It's all right.
Wait,
Oh.
his thing was all the way down? What was his thing?
Yeah.
I didn't touch
Oh,
anything.
the channel 1 that I told you to push up.
That's okay. It's
No,
good. We're
I
good.
know, I'm
Okay.
We're good?
Okay.
We're good.
Showtime. Okay. So now we can all hear Vince. We can all hear
Okay.
Angel, right?
Yes.
We can all hear Colleen. We can all hear Sean. Dana's over there in the background too. Hi, Dana.
Hi.
You can hear her through Sean's mic.
I should just like not talk at this moment.
You're fine. You and Dana can both talk, and we can hear you both through your mic, Sean.
Yeah.
So now we can be heard. So welcome to Geek Out to Say. Well, you kind of heard me. I was just kind of low. But yeah, we're here. Angel's here. We're talking about E3.
E3,
I've always,
Metroid right now.
Metroid. I've always wanted to go to E3.
Believe it or not, 2 years ago with Hebi, we had a booth at E3.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And for an indie company, that is not pretty at all. They put you in the nosebleeds, and like nobody comes to see you. Everybody wants to see the big attractions and everything. So
yeah.
Kind
And
of
this
like a
is
Gen
Kind of
Con.
tough.
yeah, I mean, and
I
back
think that's how all major cons are, though. Really,
like with PAX, even though you saw us, even though we,
Yeah.
we were still indie, we were there with everybody else. You saw us our first year at PAX,
Yeah.
and we still got a lot of foot traffic. But at E3, it was like you would see tumbleweeds blowing through, and it's like, play my game, please?
Please?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
this is back when I was just, Hebi was just first starting. This is back when
a little bit higher.
No. He needs to move because your camera is cutting off his head.
My camera?
Like the webcam is cutting off
It shows
like
you
the
in
top.
the top corner.
And
Angel, this is your box, and Angel's head is like the top of his here. You can see.
Yeah,
his eyes.
yeah,
Oh.
like switch.
Okay, right here. Where I'm just like sliding down slowly. It's like, oh, there you go.
That's too high. A little bit lower.
We're gonna get all this fixed right now.
Yeah.
A little lower. A little lower. Probably like right there. Probably the best bet.
Cool.
That's Angel's head.
Angels.
Perch, perfect.
Yeah, he's good.
It was open to the public. Yeah, it was open to the public, but I
Yeah,
heard
this was the
lines were
first-
ridiculous.
Well, this
People
is the
were
first year
only
they
able to
actually
play
had it.
2 or 3 games a day.
Yeah, it was the first time they had it open to the public. That's one of the things.
Well, they've had it before
And
back in the day, but they opened it up back up to the public this year.
yeah, and
Because
Yeah,
for
I
a
see
while
something
it was
there.
just media
yeah,
that got to come and check it out.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought it was like a con like San Diego Comic Con or whatever. I didn't know.
no, actually, it was more like, yeah, as Vince said, it was the media, going around checking out, all the major companies and any indies that were there. And again, it was one of those things where we didn't get any coverage, so it was like, we're not going to do E3 again.
Yeah, the
I mean-
expense is not worth
Yeah,
it.
Fulgor says, yeah, it hasn't been open to the public in years.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's
I mean, I saw some Facebook video of people that had gotten to go, and they had the Nintendo area looked like a Disney World ride. Like, it was fantastic. They had the whole ship going on and the whole Mario in there, and it was just phenomenal. I was like, that
well,
looks
they
like
did a
Disney
really
ride.
cool thing at PAX where they had kind of like a diner setting in the back.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
with the
and-
switches.
And
Oh,
you were
really?
able to play, like, what was it, Street Fighter, Zelda, ARMS, and I want to say 2 other games. And if you played all of them, you got a button.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that, was cool. You got to play the Switch before it got released and everything at PAX. And being an exhibitor there, you got to get in before everybody else. So it's like, let me go play it before, everybody runs in.
So do y'all think that this is going to help Nintendo make up some ground, or are they still going to be kind of in the weeds? Because I heard that the PS4 put out enough titles that they're still going to keep themselves ahead of everybody else. And the Xbox One S or whatever is like backwards.
Xbox One
X.
Xbox One X, yeah.
But-
that's original,
But
guys.
in the store, they're
yeah,
calling it the
totally.
Xbox One S. Because I
Well-
was in the store.
Well, no, the
Uh-huh.
Xbox One S is out right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what's out now. Xbox One X, that's coming out later on this year.
So that's the one that's going to be backwards compatible.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
it was
okay.
supposed to be called Xbox
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Yeah, well, they called it Project Scorpio for like forever. And people were like, oh my god, Xbox, they're going to officially show it. And then they said Xbox One X, and people were like,
What?
it's like,
Yeah, it's just like when they had all these different names for the Windows project,
Yeah.
for the operating system. They were calling it, that'd be a cool name for that Windows. But no, they didn't do it.
It was just Windows 10 or what?
It was back when they did it when it was like ME.
Yeah.
It was going to be called something else. It was going to be called something else when it was 7. It was going to be called something else when it was 8.
Everybody's like, I don't want these lame names. Like, can you give
Yeah.
me something,
Give me something
cool?
good.
Like, I want something really cool. And with the Xbox, I saw that the asking
Well,
price is going to be $500
Yeah,
for that
$500.
Xbox One X.
well,
like,
believe it or not, that's standard for, Xbox. So I can see them doing that. Nintendo, from what I heard, Nintendo did steal the show at E3. They with their titles and
really?
their presentation, because Xbox really, the only thing they were really able to show was the Xbox. Whereas PlayStation, it was rumored that they were going to show the PlayStation 5, so everybody was like, let's go to the Sony panel, and then they didn't show it, and everybody was like, aw. So,
But I think they need to get their money's worth out of the 4 before they go to the 5, I think. I don't know. I mean, are they going to start doing everything like Apple? So they're releasing a new
Like every year or
device, like
something?
every
year?
You're gonna- Well, and I think the only new big like technological advances were doing like the 4K and some of that stuff.
Yeah,
that
the
then you
4K.
have to have TVs and stuff to go with it. So then, are you going to want to make the investment to get this,
this system
that then I'm going to have to get a whole new TV for it to really truly run really well on, or do I want to kind of like hang out with what I've got?
Because I mean, I still have the PS4, the original one, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was like, "Oh, you should get the PlayStation VR." Okay, so you're gonna drop $500 for that. Do you have a PlayStation? No, so you have to drop another $500 for PlayStation. That's about $1,000 right there. Do you have any titles for it? No, so that's another $50.
Yeah.
So
Much money.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot.
Fulger says, yeah, the PS4 is selling better than the PS2, which is the best-selling console of all time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think I read several articles about E3 just to kind of see what was going on and to try to keep abreast of it. And I don't know if maybe the articles I picked just for their titles or whatever just happened to be people that were PlayStation fanatics, but from the articles that I read and saw, it was a lot of like PlayStation did better than everybody else. PlayStation was better than everybody else. And I think they just liked the titles and stuff that they were coming out with.
Well, they do a lot of the titles, but their technology is usually better.
yeah.
I mean, I personally, I guess, because I grew up in that whole Nintendo, like, Super Mario was the thing back then,
Yeah.
and Castlevania and stuff, which I'm totally stoked for the Castlevania show, but I'm not even going to go there right now. But
We'll have to go there later.
I did see that the new, like, Super Mario Odyssey,
Yeah.
like, it looks so adorable, and the graphics are, like, super good, and he does this thing, and he's, like, in a sombrero and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute.
That actually reminds me of Mario 64. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but that's what it kind of feels like. And like the other day, I still have an original NES. I had to blow the cartridge and slam it in and press the button and pray to God, go, please work, please work.
From the 64 one, you know what's funny? On the back of the N64 cartridge, it says "Do not blow in the cartridge." It's one of the main things on there. Is like "Do not blow in the cartridge."
It says not to blow in the cartridge because a lot of people get a little overzealous when they blow and they get spit in there.
Yeah.
And so when you're getting the spit in there and you get some of that bacteria in there, the bacteria can actually grow, and then you can get a culture and stuff. And
you got a cool comment from Patrick. Nolan C 3D Printworks. We have failed as parents by letting our kids think $500 consoles with 3-minute load times and microtransaction systems are acceptable.
And that is true.
Yeah.
I know one of the things that a lot of indie companies here in San Antonio are trying to do, or trying to work away from microtransactions, because back in the day when we grew up, we had games, we played them. There were no updates. There were no microtransactions.
Yeah.
If there was a bug in there, you dealt with it, and
you were like, "Oh, dude, I'm stuck in the wall."
Yeah, or
Start over.
Or 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, if it was a bug, it was like a cheat, where you were invincible. So it's like, hey, dude, do this and you're invincible.
Awesome.
But yeah, like you have all these patches and updates and microtransactions and load times, and it's like, I just want to play. I don't
seriously.
And most people don't have 90 hours to invest in a game. We work. We're adults.
Yeah.
We all are nerds. I will admit I'm a nerd, and I'm proud of it. And I love playing video games, but I don't have the time to invest in games. People ask me, "Have you played this game?"
No.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't beaten it? No, I don't have that time.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to, but no. Well, yeah, and we keep saying, oh, yeah, we're going to play. We went and bought 4 new video games because we were like, we're going to be dedicated, right? We're going to play now. We're going to Twitch. We played Little Big Planet one night. No, we played for like 2 or 3 hours, but we played one night. And then after that, we haven't even tried the other ones to see if they even work. And now we're past the time to return them, even if they didn't work. So I hope they work.
So I need to, one of the problems is because my laptop has been pissing me off because I can't stream anything through my laptop.
Ah.
So I bought a computer that should be coming in next week just to handle the video games.
Yes, and now that I'm not teaching for the summer, and my master's classes are only a lot of the time, but not as much as when I'm teaching, then we'll be playing some video games. And then there's some other video game we need to play.
Fulgur says, ugh, microtransactions? I don't know what's worse, that all the season passes, that that thin all the season passes that thin the player base and offer stuff that was most likely cut from the main game. So they're like adding stuff that should have already been there.
Yeah,
Right.
like when Destiny first came out, a lot of people were put off by just how little content there was, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna do a bunch of patches, and here you go." Then it's such a better game. But why didn't you guys just do that in the beginning and say, "Hey, any patches? That's gonna be the sequel."
Well, you work on games, so do you feel like sometimes there might be like this time crunch and stuff, especially if you have a title and everybody's working on it and they're like, okay, you've got to release it at this time? Do you think sometimes they release it ahead of when it's really ready just because of that pressure that's on them? Or?
There is that pressure, and yeah, they do that. A lot of companies, even back in the day, they would push titles back saying, it's not done. Give us time, bear with us, you'll love it when it's finally finished. Now they're like, oh, we're going to meet that deadline, and then we get to do patches, updates.
So we can. Hideo used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
With Metal Gear.
He'd be like, oh, you got to wait 6 more months or something?
Or more than 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I know when Metal Gear Solid came out, oh my God, I was waiting for that for so long.
Yes.
But when it finally did come out, I was so happy with it.
And then you compare that first Metal Gear Solid to everything after it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God.
I still have that copy of Metal Gear. I'm going to go home and play it tonight.
I have a copy of it too.
I'm going to go home and play it tonight just because that game, just the way they put it out, is awesome.
Really?
No updates or anything like that. So,
Mark I'm pretty sure almost all AAA is going to do that. What's AAA?
AAA. Or AAA companies like
AAA companies.
Like Capcom, your Treyarch, your Blizzards. Oh, crap. Blizzard's probably going to kill me. Because I used to work for them, so it's like, oh, God.
You'll be fine.
And I used to work for Capcom. Oh, God. No, but
that's cool that you have that kind of background behind you and that's helping you with Hebi Studios right now.
Well, for me, it's more helping the community and helping people like Dana and the rest of my team, because I don't see them as employees, I don't see them as interns, I see them as family. So, and the community too, like you guys, I see you guys as family. Otaku Cafe, the Nine Tails.
I think that's one of the reasons we got along so well when we first met, is just because we're more about the community than we were about getting our stuff really out there.
Yeah.
Even though it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. It's just, I would rather help other people on my way as I rise up. If I can take Dana by the hand and say, all right, this is what we need to do, to get you to this status, then we'll do it. Vince, I will, every show or every place I go to, Geek at SA, check him out. Vince, check him out. Game Expo, check it out.
Yeah, definitely. And that's always great that you come to Game Expo and bring your games and talk to people there too. And I just think doing that, not only is it the right thing to do, which I would think that would be obvious, but it's not obvious to people. But even if you're not doing it for the right reason, like you can still network, and you never know like what creative person you're going to meet out there that's like undiscovered or whatever, or somebody who might have an idea or a way of looking at something that you never looked at before. And like, I just don't see the harm in going out there and being kind to people and doing the right thing and like helping people out. Like,
yeah, like you do have some people, who are not kind to people, and I'm sorry. If I see a little kid having fun,
we're not speaking any names.
But if I see a little kid having fun playing my game, that's why I do this. And I'm sure you're the same way.
And from the tabletop side of it as well, when I see somebody playing my card game and they love it, or playing our RPG and they love it, and they want to play and they want to show other people, that's just like, wow, it hits you right here.
Yeah,
it's just like,
there's some people who are in it for the money, and I will tell anybody who wants to make video games, if you're in it for the money, or video games, tabletop games, indie movies, music, if you're in it for the money,
it's a lot more time that you spend on it than you actually get out of it.
Yeah, and you're in it for the wrong reasons. You should be in it to let people see what you do and have fun, enjoy it.
Amen.
I mean,
because if you're not in that if you're not in that line of thought, you'll get discouraged really early.
Yes, I mean,
because it's a lot of work.
It is.
Yeah, and some of these really big companies, it's a lot of accidentally being in the right place in the right time, or in the right time era when something happened and the fandom bloomed or whatever. So sometimes it's fortuitous and it just kind of happened for them. So those of you that are new to it or whatever, don't take it as, hey, I'm not doing it right because I'm not a multimillionaire yesterday.
Yeah.
You just got to keep putting the time in, and you would be surprised how long some of these big companies had to put their time in before something just kind of happened for them,
Yeah, like I know myself and Vince, we both work full-time jobs. I rushed over here to, get to, be here with Vince just so I can say hi to you guys, from a job. And granted, I don't have to sit and make video games. I can work, and do that, but I love seeing little kids playing my game, breaking my equipment, eating my controllers. I actually had a kid eat a controller. I don't know how he got that in his mouth, but he did. But but seeing stuff like that is why I do this.
Yeah.
And
well, you just never know what you could be fostering in someone, right?
Yeah.
We just got to see this little video. I went to like a teacher training thing, and we saw this video called Kane's Arcade, and it's this little 9-year-old boy. And his dad didn't have any care for him or whatever, and his dad owned a part shop, so his dad had to take him to work. They live in East LA, and he had all these boxes from all of the parts and stuff that they bought, and the little boy was like, can I make an arcade? And his dad was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever, crazy kid, like you're gonna make an arcade, right? But he did. He made this like elaborate, like Chuck E. Cheese-esque kind of thing. Like he made the ball and the hoop, and he made like all these little things, and you roll the ball, and he glued some army men in and made a soccer. Like, he has this whole elaborate arcade out of cardboard.
Wow.
And he has like a crane thing where in the top he like cut like a little pattern, and you can like drag the little yarn through and the pattern and stuff. And one guy that just came in one day and he saw it and he was like, this is so imaginative. And he was like, it's $1 if you want to play 4 games, or it was $2 and you could have the fun pass and you could play 500 games. So, because he's 9, right? So he's super cute. So the guy's like, well, shoot, I'll pay $2, right? And play 500 times. So he made a documentary about this kid, and it totally like blew up. And now there's all these kids all over the world, and they have this cardboard challenge every year now. And they make their own. These little kids made whack-a-mole. This one little group of kids, they made like a copy machine, and there's the box, and there's a little kid inside, and they put the flap over, and there's like saran wrap, and the kid like looks at whatever the document is, and he draws it or writes it, and then he shoves it out. Yes,
Nice.
it's so cute. It's called Kane's Arcade. So you just never know. You have to look it up, because I think that it will totally inspire you even more than you already are.
Yeah.
Because you just never know who you're inspiring just by like showing them what you've done and showing them that a regular person can do it, and then like letting them experience it, and then they may go home and try to make it on their own, And
that is true. I mean, like even with video games or tabletop games, I know Stacey, they do a lot of work with with kids as far as like
I was
art.
really impressed with their
What's Stacey?
game.
It's more like an after-school program for like grammar school to high school kids, where they can create art, video games, and they were at PAX, Alamo City Comic-Con, and they actually made a full-blown game they're releasing on Steam.
Really?
And these are high school kids.
Nice.
And, it just goes to show...
Do you know what it stands for?
Stacey? No. I think that's just
San Antonio
Youth Seniority. I don't know.
I'll have to look that up.
Yes, that is one of those things I should look up, but that just goes to show, what anybody can do if they're motivated properly and things like that. And
yeah, I think just getting these kids into these programs and showing them what's available out there. And I think so many kids, and I'm sorry to pick on Sean, your age group, but we set so many of these kids up for this expectation that things are going to happen for them instantaneously. And they're just going to be wonderful and get a trophy, and everything's going to be great and wonderful. And we meant for them not to, I guess because my generation went through this time where a lot of us were bullied and things were hard and it was like, woe is me, like life was hard. And so we went the opposite way with our kids.
Yeah.
And then we went too far.
Yeah.
Because life's not like that. Like life takes grit and takes work and so I think they need to see that and
like
not see that so much.
There's a comedian I listened to, Christopher Titus, and he was talking about participation trophies, and he was saying how that's like the wrong idea to give kids, because it's like in the real world when you go to work, not everybody's going to be treated equally. If you have one guy who just sits there and does the bare minimum or slacks off, he's not going to get a trophy. He's going to get fired. Mm-hmm. And he's not going to know how to handle it, because he's like, well, I participated. No.
And so a lot of them, they will like make something or whatever, but if somebody critiques it or puts it down or whatever, they're like, oh, I give up.
San Antonio Youth, yes.
San Antonio Youth, yes. Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
have to check that out. San Antonio Youth, yes.
All right, cool.
So S-A and then Y, Youth, and then C is Spanish for
yes. Okay.
Stacy, I got it.
Well, thank you, guys.
Oh,
Thank you,
Adam
guys.
is here. Adam says, the cool thing is you never know who is seeing what you're doing or you're inspiring. You just have to keep putting out your content and helping others, and your time will come.
Yeah, I would agree. I would totally agree with that.
Yeah.
I know that Sean agrees with that. That's definitely
heck
his message all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about keeping going, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Because I'm sure making Rage Ball, it wasn't like, oh, I made it in 5 seconds and it was so easy, right? And everybody loves it right now.
yeah, no, it was one of those things where it was like, I want to give up. Oh my God. I was talking to my investor today, and even though we just got we're going to be on Steam, Nintendo picked us up.
Nice.
I sat in my office at my desk and I just broke down crying. And he was like, "What's wrong?" I just said, "There are days I feel like giving up, and I don't know what happened, And he just said, "Remember all the people who you're doing this for?" And I said, "I'm doing it for all of San Antonio." He said, "Think of all of San Antonio." So I said, "Even more weight."
The pressure.
But no matter what, I know I'm not giving up. It's just.
I mean, I know it's a lot what you do. I know it's a lot what we do as well. It's just because we've taken on so much, and you've taken on so much, because it's not just Hebi Studios. It's not just your. It's not just your regular job. It's also.
It's my life, and.
And what else do you have going on? That's.
Let's see. Well, promoting other conventions. I know we have Corpus Christi Comic Con coming up, and
You have like 2 other things that you're doing that you're like head of right now.
oh, also, I'm the.
Let me mention that.
Yeah, let me mention that. No, I'm also the chairman of the IGDA San Antonio chapter as well. That stands for the Independent Gaming Developers Association.
So we have our own chapter here in San Antonio.
Yes, and also I just got not nominated. I just got appointed as the president of Extra Life here in San Antonio as well.
Yeah.
The San Antonio chapter. So
I think that's something that they needed. They really need some new blood in that to push it along.
well, I mean, the previous president, wonderful woman. She's actually helping with the transition, helping everything that we're doing, and
They just need somebody to bring them together.
Yeah, which is one of the things that I told everybody is one thing that we're going to do is kind of have IGDA and Extra Life working together, doing conventions together, not apart, essentially to help the community, because that's one of the things that I've always wanted to do is help the community, help bring people together, help people grow. I mean,
Well, are you from here in San Antonio? Angel,
actually,
or-
no, I'm from Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Moved here.
Chi-town.
Yeah, moved here in 2007, and one of the reasons I want to help the community grow or help it, become better is because in Chicago, growing up, I grew up in, a community that was poverty stricken. I grew up in the projects, and it's one of those things where if I can get a kid in a program like C where they're not on the streets, or if I can show them, hey, you can sit there and draw or develop video games or tabletop games or write poetry or anything like that, then do it. And with Extra Life, you know, when you go to the hospitals and you see kids who are, you know, in a hospital and their parents can't afford care for them, Extra Life steps in and, you know, gives assistance.
Nice.
And
yeah.
The other thing about, because when I was in, Vincent actually went to Health Careers High School here in San Antonio to become a healthcare professional, and I was in a health occupations program at John Jay High School to be in the health field, and neither one of us went that way, but that was how we started in high school. And I worked on the children's ward a lot. I do too. And that was one of the things is the kids are away from home. They're already sick and sad, and their parents are there. And just having, like, at the Methodist, they had a gaming ward there on the children's ward where they could go and play games, tabletop games and video games, and just have that little moment of normalcy.
Yeah, normality. Where the kids know they're still sick, but they're like, at least I feel like a kid.
Yeah.
Not like an adult going, you know, adults, as you get older, you face your mortality. Kids should not have to think about that all the time. So at least you give them that little aspect. Yeah. And that's another thing I spoke with a few of the hospital directors about, was saying, you know, let's do more things like that with the kids, you know, whether it be indie games, not just video games, tabletop games, you know, indie film. Let's have the kids watch, you know, movies. If they can't go to the movies, let's bring it to the kids.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
I know Santico's movie theaters, you know, really down for that. They're just trying to see what they can do legally because, you know, you can't take it out the movie theater, but they're willing to help and everything like that. So, granted, it may not be anything we can do, you know, tomorrow, but it's something that even if I just put it in the works and 2 years down the line it actually happens,
Maybe they can build a theater inside the hospital.
Hey, Art Seagull, come on, build a movie theater.
There's an idea for you.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm from San Antonio, so for me, like, giving back to this community is important because I've always been a part of this community, and I love this community. Like, I think there's something very special about San Antonio because even as large as we are, we still, like, are very kind and come together, and we have, like, this small city feel.
Yeah.
And so I hate that Austin gets all this credit all the time about having all these creatives and and I'm like, you guys don't even know the kind of creatives we have here. So I'm really glad that Vince has been lining up some interviews. I was glad to hear that you were going to be on tonight. We're going to have another San Antonio developer next week who's doing VR stuff.
John Perry?
No.
Or Richard Rackor?
No, it's for
Bronson. I forgot what Bronson's name is now.
He does stuff with the HoloLens.
I know who you're talking about. Crap. And that's
I met him at the Microsoft store when I went for a teacher field trip the other day.
Bronson Lerma.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's things like that. Like you say, Austin. Coming from Chicago, people are not happy when they're walking down the street, and like walking down the street here in San Antonio, people are like, "Hi." It's like, I don't know you, but hi. You know.
It was like so funny. We were at the store the other day, and this little kid just runs up next to Vincent, and he's like, "Hey, I really like your glasses," just like his regular eyeglasses, and we were like, okay, cool, thanks. Like, that's just kind of how it is here. People will just be like talking to you or whatever.
Like they know you, and it's like, I've never seen you before in my life. And San Antonio is one of the few places you will get to have interactions like that, and that's why I chose San Antonio to live.
Okay.
And like as far as the tech community and art, San Antonio has a lot of art, and that's what people like Vince and myself are, you know, trying to bring people together. Because with San Antonio being such a large city, everybody's so scattered out. That's the problem.
That is the problem. That's a big problem in this city that I don't think people outside of it realize.
Yeah. Whereas Austin, everything's so compact, so people have to know each other. So with people like Vince doing things like, you know, Game Expo, myself just screaming out, "Hey, we're here. Reach out to me. You know, call me, carrier pigeon, smoke signal. I'll find you. I don't care." You know. And Sean, I mean, he's actually doing a lot of work too, just helping out and everything. So
a lot of thinking goes into a lot of things that I do.
Yeah.
So, and also I'm going through a lot of behind the scenes stuff when it comes to personal things. So it gets harder and then it gets easier and then it just kind of flip flops through there. So.
You're gonna have to show me how to edit because we're like terrible about the whole editing thing. Like Vince always has these.
I mean, when it comes down to it, I just
to,
don't have time.
He's supposed to edit these videos together, and I'm like, did you edit those videos? Oh, I had to do this thing and this thing and this thing, and then lately he's been on call because the server's been going down at work, and he's just like, I can't breathe.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people expect like when you do any type of game, they're like, oh, you can do that in like 5 minutes. No. I mean. I don't know how difficult it is for tabletop, but I know.
Oh, I could have done such and such. Yeah, but you didn't.
But you didn't, because if you had tried it, it wouldn't have taken you what you thought it was going to take.
Yeah, like with indie games, it's like, developing anything, it takes time, effort. I mean, and we don't have $5.3 million, so we're saving up money. You know, we're buying equipment. We're trying to find
our prototypes. Like y'all's prototypes are different, but our prototypes literally start with like something that we've drawn on an index card, and we're usually like putting it out with the cards, like making it that way, or like little post-it notes or whatever. Like it's just. You know, stuff you can get at the Dollar Tree or whatever, you start your prototype like that and you play it out until it works and then...
See, normally I'll use a whiteboard and go, okay, will this work? No, that won't work, you know, so... Because, I'm sorry, I'm cheaper. You know, buy a whiteboard once, there you go. So...
I used to...
You have to keep buying markers, though.
Work? No, my job lets me use them. Thank you, boss.
I used to have friends and family who used to do the poster card ways, and we would play the game like that, and oh my god, there were so many memories from that. It was the best thing.
But that's totally... Well, you made a game at the last Game Expo, so you got to create a game, so you saw that too, and you kind of already had that experience, so it's definitely... Yeah, you know, you gotta... People don't realize, like, you have to make the prototype, and then you have to make the prototype of the prototype, and then the prototype of the prototype, until you get, like, everything hashed out and hammered the right way, and then you make, like, a legit prototype, like, we use GameCrafter or whatever, and then you play it some more, and you're like, nope, that was wrong. I gotta go back, and, you know, it's like...
Yeah, because I've never tried to make a tabletop game, but I know if I did, Vince is the man I would go to, you know, because to me... I don't know anybody else like Vince. I mean, he's an all-around cool guy. So that's
I try to be.
That's one of the reasons he and I just like
we clicked really quick.
Yeah,
really quick.
I'm getting some feedback from the phone. I'm not sure if it's mine or
mine.
Some nasty feedback.
It's probably his because his is like moving
right under his head.
Yeah, I think it is yours, dude.
Okay, are you getting it now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
How about now?
I'm still getting it.
You're still getting it?
Yeah, I don't know.
And maybe it's you.
it might just be me. I don't know what's going on with me today.
Fulger says St. Jude does something similar for their kids there. Twitch does a great fundraiser each year for them.
We actually work with St. Jude's as well. Judy, I met her at my first PAX South, and she told me about how her son passed away of cancer as well. And that's how she got into it. So I said, how can we help? Like, again, I will put myself, my company, you know, everything to helping kids. But yes, St. Jude's, wonderful organization as well.
He thinks it's your mic.
My mic?
Are you messing with the thing again?
I don't think so. It's just sitting there.
Okay. Was that it?
Yes.
That's the connector?
That was it.
Okay.
That was so nasty. That was a bad one.
All right, I set it way over there, so...
Okay.
Don't touch it.
I'm trying not to touch it.
Touch it.
I didn't think I was touching it,
I have to get 2 more wireless mics.
Yeah.
And those things are not cheap.
Again, those are things that, as indies, we pay for out of our pockets.
Yes.
Yeah, no, we pay we pay for that stuff out of our pockets.
People are like, oh, you should have a top-of-the-line computer, and you should have, like, $50,000 cameras, and it's like, money?
Yeah, are you going to fund us? Do you have a sponsor for us?
Yeah, you know.
We'd be down. Well, people ask us, like, well, do you have a sponsor? Well, yeah, sometimes we'll have people who, like, you know, Alamo City will give us, like, a free booth or whatever. So they're kind of sponsor us that way because then we don't have to pay for all of that kind of stuff. Or sometimes they'll, you know, like, give us, like, a discount or something free, you know, for us to put on the show to, like, show off, to promote something. But We don't have anybody who's like, here, have a lot of money so that you can have this really cool camera.
We were
We just
offered it one time, but we couldn't take that deal.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, as far as free stuff goes, like with Alamo City Comic Con, with PAX South, San Japan, you know, they give out space to help, you know, indies who can't afford it, because indie companies can't afford $1,500, you know, for a booth, then still paying for flyers, you know, electricity and everything like that. So,
yeah, and if you're in town, sometimes you really need to go get that hotel room, because people don't realize like all the gear and stuff that you've got to travel around with, because they can't always lock up where your booth is, maybe, or so you spend more than you would ever make back. Like
I know my first year I spent over $376,000 of my own money. That was in the first year, and people are like, "Oh, well, you should have like top of the line equipment." It's like, no, you're paying for travel, hotel, equipment,
it adds
marketing, flyers, posters, banners.
Patrick says, "LOL, no iPad camera set up for the win." That's what we do. But when people see that, they're impressed by it. With the setup that we have. Yeah. And then, and still we don't pay that much for what we do, because we're creative with our money. Yeah. Hell, I still use my 720p flip cam, Patrick says.
Didn't someone from Comic-Con, when we first went, like someone famous, go up to your thing and like, that was a nice setup from, I can't think of the actor's name.
Yeah, it was Jay.
Yeah.
Jason Mewes.
Jay Mewes is such an amazing person, I swear. Dude. Every time I meet that...
It's a wave of the future.
Yeah, every time I see that guy, it's like you're laughing just from side to side. Yeah. And he's one of those people who should be in San Antonio, because he'll tell you his whole life story as he just meets you.
Nice.
Like, when I first met him, I don't know how PC can I be right now, or
try to be fairly PC, just because my students watch, so we try to be.
Well, no, like he was talking about his drug habit,
right,
with him and his wife, and I'm like, dude, I just met you like 2 minutes ago, and he's like, oh, you're okay. So I'm like, okay. I feel like I've known this guy for years, and he is just one of those people who.
But I mean, he's come back from that though, which is a good thing.
He seems really cool. I would love to meet him. I just have this. Like, I almost wanted to go just to meet him, but I'm still in my, like, angry celebrity phase where, like, it just ticks me off that they want all this money just, like, to get a picture with them.
About Mark Hamill?
What?
For just an autograph, it's $195?
Yeah, no.
For just an autograph.
It's ridiculous.
On something. Not even a picture.
Wow.
Just an autograph.
I hate it.
See, I did not know about him. Stan Lee, I know he was doing something like that, but
not even that much.
No.
I think his was like maybe $50.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. It's their time and stuff, but the venues already paid them for their time.
Yeah,
we've paid them a lot to see their movies and stuff. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe their lines would be too long and they wouldn't be able to see everybody. But, if you really want to see them, get in line early and camp out or whatever if it's that important to you. But, like, paying $40-$50 just to, like, get their just to get a picture with them, or just to get them to sign something.
But people are still doing it, and that's why.
I realize that, but it's just not something that I'm gonna do. Like, there are celebrities that I genuinely think might be interesting people, and I'm just not gonna go talk to them.
Well, believe it or not,
Patrick says no signature is worth that to me.
believe it or not, one celebrity, and it's not that I'm. How can I say it? It's not that I'm like playing favorites right now, but Kevin Sorbo, one of the nicest guys in the world. I mean, there were kids there who didn't have any money, and he would just sign stuff for them, and he's like, here, just because you're a fan. I mean, nice guy. Him and his son Braden, he's getting into acting right now. And you do have some celebrities who are like that.
Sam Jones doing that.
Sam Jones is a really nice guy.
I could see Sam Jones doing that. He was really nice.
Believe it or not, who else was it? Dolph Lundgren. The rumor going around the convention, there was a kid there who had a Russian boxing glove, and the kid didn't have money, so Dolph Lundgren took the glove, signed it, gave it back to the kid.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I know he's a nice guy. I just never heard of, He's a pretty big name actor.
Yeah.
Kevin Sorbo is all actors are pretty big name, but for somebody like him to do something like that for a child, for any actor to do something like that is just phenomenal.
Patrick says Tobin Bell was super cool. Who's Tobin Bell? You have to look that one up.
Yes.
Let me know who that is, Patrick. Because I don't know. I'm interested. I want to know now. Who's Tobin? It sounds familiar. I don't remember though.
Well, so since you do video games and stuff, are you ever, like, I see these people that are hyped for, like, these voice actors or people that, like, were creators. Are you ever, like, really hyped for somebody like that who's, like, a voice actor in a video game or anything like that?
I am. God, the guy who voiced Vegeta and Goku, like, they were phenomenal, and they're like, yeah, we'll work with you, but...
Oh. I know who it is.
Who's it? Oh.
That's Tobin Bell.
Yeah.
The Saw guy.
The Saws guy.
Yeah.
The Saw guy, whatever.
But believe it or not, a lot of actors and actresses want to get into voice acting too. Like for our next project, Kevin Sorbo is going to be our lead voice actor, and he was just phenomenal about it. But voice actors, as far as video games go, there are like a few, but it's more like, for me, it's more getting somebody who's a good fit with us, because again, we're not in it to make, $3.6 billion. We're in it to make people happy and have fun. So
if it happens, we wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn it down.
I mean, if they're going to give me $3.6 billion, I'll take it.
First thing I'm going to say is, hey, Vince, let's go to Hawaii.
Oh, my God. That's nothing. Chris Helmsworth was charging $200 for an autograph and $210 for a selfie taken with your own camera.
What? See, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just stand there and look pretty and let me take a picture with my camera. Yeah, thank you. I'm paying you $200 for that.
Wow. Now, I've known actors who, like, if you're at the booth with them and you take a photo, they charge you. Actors would be like, step outside the booth, and then they would take a selfie with you just so that they know you won't get charged or anything like that. I've known actors and actresses to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen any of these kindnesses that you're talking about.
Believe it or not, I mean, Vince has done a ton of conventions. I've done a ton of conventions, and you see it all.
You saw Sam Jones, and you saw, what's his name, Walter.
Really he was nice, but I got to talk to him after I waited in line for over 2 hours while he kept letting paying customers come up that he didn't have before I started standing in line, just by the way.
Believe it or not, when I went to see Stan Lee, I talked to his handler. I said, hey, I don't want to pay anything. I don't want to buy anything. I just want to shake his hand, tell him thank you, because first and foremost, I'm an artist, and I want to say thank you to him, for inspiring me to be an artist. Handler went, talked to Stan Lee, and Stan, motioned for me to come, had me go ahead at the front of the line just to shake his hand and say thank you. I mean, and that's all I wanted to do.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, no photos or anything like that, just say thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and he's Stan Lee. He could have said no. And people would be like, well, I understand. But, yeah. So you do get a lot of people who, if you genuinely just want to say hi and just be nice to them, they'll say, sure. Because they're human too. They know you don't have the money they do, and you just want to say hi and fanboy out, or,
See, sometimes I feel like they are so far removed they don't remember that we don't have the money they do, especially like in a place like San Antonio, or you're talking about like some of the poorer places like in Chicago and stuff.
Yeah.
You're talking about $200, like for some of the people here in San Antonio, that's like a week of work. That's a week of work. Like they have to work a whole week.
Mm-hmm. Or that's
to pay you enough to stand there and take a picture with you on their phone.
Or that's grocery money, or money, or car payment. That's diapers for your kids.
Diapers for the kids. Yeah.
Formula for the formula. Whew, that's good thing I don't have any kids. Even though I want one more. So.
Just one.
So,
of all the things that you saw coming out of E3, what is the one thing that you're most looking forward to?
The one thing I'm looking most forward to is the Dragon Ball Z game, just because they're going back to the roots of the 2D, fighting, where it's just fun, not customizing your character, buying updated content. Like, I just bought Tekken 7. I just want to fight. They're like, oh, well, you can buy like custom clothing for your character and make them do all these special attributes. I just want to fight.
I just want to fight.
Did they show anything on Injustice 2?
Injustice 2 is already out.
It's already out?
Yeah. But with that game, again, you can still buy custom upgrade your character. You can, I mean, and it's like,
Yeah, but it's
what
Superman.
What happened, you know, to the times where you can just pick up a controller, play, put down the controller, and go do something.
Or
at least unlock it with your skills.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. You used to be able to like play things, and like if you got so far, got to whatever level, then you could unlock. Because I remember like Metal Gear was like that, right? Where you could get like special camouflage suits and stuff like that, but you had to like go through the game and do certain tasks and do it in a certain time frame or whatever, and then you could unlock it.
Well, that's the thing nowadays. Instead of just beating a game, you know, the youth of today, they want more. They're like, oh, well, if I jump 6 times and punch the air, I want a, you know, special award. You know, like how you'll see that.
Mm-hmm.
You achieve the bouncing beam award. It's like, no, all he did was jump. Why award him? That's a trophy right there. You know, beating the game, that was the trophy.
Yeah.
You know, Final Fantasy VII, I remember putting like almost 3 months into that game, and then when I finally beat it, I'm like, I feel so relieved. Okay, I'm not gonna play that for 10 years. And
the cool thing of like when you beat like Metal Gear Solid certain ways, and the stuff that you get like when you beat it certain ways, like not killing people, just like knocking them out, or I think one of them was like you're like a piece of tofu.
What?
You're a piece of tofu.
Yeah,
your
I remember
character
that.
is a piece of tofu.
I am a piece of tofu.
Yeah, I remember that. Wow, that makes me feel old.
So you were saying something a little bit earlier, and we kind of like skipped past it really quickly, so I want to go back to it. So Rage Ball is going to be on Steam.
Yes.
And what else?
Wii U, and we're waiting for a developer kit for the Switch. Just because since they said the price, you know, of like $350 for a developer kit, everybody wants to buy it now. Because normally a developer kit for any gaming system is anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
And you know, not a lot of indies have that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to pay for your ERSB rating, which is another $5,000.
Oh, hey, Boss Squad. How's it going?
Hi.
Chris is watching. Says, good evening, Geek Out SA.
Good evening.
But no, for Rage Ball, like you guys have played it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I went to the ERSB board. I said, okay, it's rated E. You know, and they said, oh, you gotta pay us $5,000 to get that rating. I'm like, but it's rated E. So $5,000 just to have
just
that.
To get the little stamp on there that shows.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
so tell everybody out there. So if people haven't played Rage Ball yet, so tell them, because Rage Ball is your title.
It is.
So tell them a little bit about what Rage Ball is like and what it's all about.
Well, the way we had to package it with Nintendo is it's a 2D sports interactive game where it's similar to table tennis or Pong. Your objective is to try to block the balls and have them get past your opponent. Now, the Express News, they did an article about us, as well as Time Warner News, and they said it's Pong on steroids. So I said, okay.
Kinda is Pong on steroids.
Yeah. Now, we did make some updates. You know, we took out the annoying goal noise. Goal! Yeah. And
but mine wasn't to take it out when I suggested. Mine was just to be, you know, user selectable. Well, it could be.
And that's one thing, since it's coming out for Steam, where we're working on implementing it to where you can choose to have that in there, because a lot of people did like that noise, and people actually asked for it as a ringtone. It's like, oh my god, that would kill me.
I want the rage as a ringtone.
Oh yes. Awesome. I mean, and believe it or not, being indie, that was just a lot of my friends getting around mics and just messing around and having fun.
Nice.
And I just went, dude, I love that. Do it again. Okay, a little bit lower, little higher. Okay, there you go. And because indies, you can't afford, you know, voice actors or anything. Like Kevin Sorbo, he's actually doing everything for voice acting work for us for free, because his son actually loves Rage Ball, and it's like, okay, your son loves us, so you're gonna do. I'm not gonna argue. Just sign this contract.
Nice.
You sign the contract. Okay, we'll go with it. So.
So is he doing voice acting for Rage Ball or another title that you're working on?
Our next title, which is Lost Ones. Rage Ball is family friendly, whereas the Lost Ones will not be. That's going to be the exact opposite. I told my team, I wanna scare people. I want people to go, these guys have issues. Yeah. So
okay,
going from one spectrum to the next, it's like we have this family friendly cutesy game, then this game that's like,
you're not going to try to push them together and be like F and F, are you?
no.
Dude, I cannot wait for that game. Then I would love to play that game.
And that's going to be with the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive, as well as PC.
You should hide it in there to where somebody's like in game playing.
Yes,
Rage Ball.
That would be awesome.
I've had a few team members say, why not have an option in there where you can, actually play Rage Ball, and something comes out and scares you or something like that. So it's like, that would kind of be promotion for Rage Ball.
Are y'all going to tie in any of the San Antonio stuff, or like any kind of chupacabra, or like?
We're gonna try to tie in some of the lore of San Antonio, like some of the horror lore and things like that. It's just finding it all out because again, we all work.
Is like a like first person or what type?
First person. So you'll actually be the player and thing. I told my team we want to have more suspense versus jump scares. So we want to have that horror where you don't know if you're gonna die and you're always on edge.
Yeah.
And when something actually does come at you, you're either running for your life, going, "Oh my God, I want to get away," or, "All right, I gotta fight, but I know I'm gonna die." So
nice. Sean's already ready to play it.
And I mean, I want to, if it's okay, I want to take a second to thank my whole team. It's not just me; it's everybody. I mean, Stormy Peroni, Russ Martinez, Dana, Paige. Austin Rogers. I mean, if I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry. I mean, and also the whole city of San Antonio. You guys have accepted me, being from Chicago, and you've accepted me with open arms, and the whole community. Wanted to say that. So.
No.
That's
We
good.
appreciate it.
Yeah. It's good for people to see people saying thank you.
Yeah.
We should do it more often.
Well, I mean, Vince knows. I'll tell him thank you all the time. He's like, "Dude, stop thanking me. Stop thanking me."
He's like, "I appreciate it, but I got it already. It's okay."
Like he'll bring me water. It's like, "Thank you. Stop it."
No. It's just water for crying out loud.
No, but we've had a lot of fun, and I know we've talked about possibly collaborating on something a while back.
Yes, no, we definitely have to because, again, you're like my brother from another mother, So I mean, you know where I'm at, and I'm always here for you no matter what. If you were to call me at 2:00 in the morning and say, "All right, I need a spot to hide a body," I was like, "All right, I got the shovels." No, you didn't hear that. No, but no, I mean,
it was just an animal that passed away.
Yeah, just an animal. We'll go with that. But no, I mean,
an insect that passed away, a really big one.
Yeah, a really big one. But no. I'm always here for you, and I'm always here for anybody who reaches out because that's just me. I mean, Vince is the same way. We help out people who are genuine, so.
And not so much people that aren't.
You two need to hush. They're going to stop talking now before they talk too much.
They're probably not watching, so it doesn't matter.
No. But again, I just want to personally thank everybody here. I mean, San Antonio, the world,
Not the world. Not everybody's.
So
nice.
you've had another game other than Rage Ball.
Oh God.
Tell us a little more about that game and what happened with that game.
Oh God.
Here we go. I saw it on his website.
Oh, notice the cheeks are getting purple. Yes, black people only have two colors, brown and purple. But no, it was called. That was my first title, Oop Boy. Where you essentially rolled around in the sewer as a piece of poo collecting coins. And people still love it. They still play it. And I keep meaning to take that down, but people are like, don't do it. So it's like, okay, I'll leave it up. And now people are asking for a sequel. And it's like, that was a joke game. That was my first test game. I wanted to see if I can do it. And we want a sequel. It's like, I don't know.
They can't put that one on the Switch.
Well, no, actually.
Well, I'll help you add some educational components because people, like the kids have to learn in science in 7th grade about human impact on groundwater and stuff. So we could do like that.
Something
and
like
then
that.
it would be like, it's educational.
And also you have an actual fully on gamer here who can add more stuff to it, who plays a lot of games.
Yeah.
Like in general.
Like one of the things with Rage Ball is St. Baldrick's. They actually did a study where it actually helps improve kids' motor functions because the hand-eye coordination helps to build that up, and that's one of those things I never thought of when I was making it. I just wanted to make a game that was like Pong, but better.
Patrick said, I'm enabling Flash to try it. It's a Flash game?
Yes.
Oh my God, people are out there trying it now. Now you've done it. That's how you do it.
HebiStudios.com
Poor Dana's over there like, oh no.
That was my first game.
What have these people gotten us into? We're doing a
pretty
sequel.
fun game.
It
Doing
is.
a sequel.
People said it's like Pac-Man meets Super Meat Boy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and...
with a little Mr. Hanky thrown in.
Yeah. No, the reason I wanted to finish that game, it's a bit of a sad story. When I first started Hebi, it was myself and my best friend. He was the programmer, I was the artist. And he was killed by a drunk driver. And instead of scrapping the project, scrapping Hebi, I said, you know what, I'm going to teach myself programming and finish it for him. So I learned
God, I never heard that story before.
and the only programming that was available was Flash, so please forget Flash, but I did it, and essentially it was one of those things where I wanted to do it for him, and I had to, and made a personal promise I would not drink and drive, and I wouldn't let anybody on my team drink and drive, so or anybody that I know, because it does affect other people. And yeah, when we first came up with the concept of it, I said, dude, let's make a game. He said, all right, what do we make? I said, I don't know. He was like, what do you feel like? I feel like crap. He's like, draw that. So I drew a piece of crap, and he was like, that looks like meat wad. So I drew it a little better, and he was like, all right, we'll use that. And he asked, well, what is he doing? I don't know. What does the world feel like? It feels like a sewer. All right, he's crawling around in the sewer. It's like, okay. And he's just collecting coins because that's all we're trying to do throughout life is trying to get more money. And so you're a piece of crap rolling around in the world that's a sewer collecting money. I know. Again, it was one of those joke games, but I had to finish it, for him.
And then the sequel can be he's striving to become a poop demon.
He wants to be an excremental.
Believe it or not, people are. I'm constantly getting title suggestions for that. Like somebody said, Oop Boy Part 2, the crap just got real.
I like that one.
Oop Boy Part 2, Let the Kernel Fly. Where instead of coins, you're trying to collect kernels of corn and just so many suggestions. A lot of them I can't say here, but.
Yeah, Patrick says, yeah, you can't take that game down.
But again,
he says it's cool, the graphics are sweet.
Well, thank you.
Now I'm going to have to play this thing too. This is going everywhere now.
But again, I'm one of those people where I value my friends, and when that happened, I remember being at his funeral and I said, you know what, I'm going to finish it, and granted, I hated every second of it because I'm not a programmer and I'm an artist, but instead of some other people, that we know, I actually...
No name spoken?
Yeah, I actually went the long route and did everything right, even with Steam, did that the right way. People are like, well, why did it take you so long to get on Steam? And it's like, instead of paying for votes, we wanted to have people actually vote for us and say, hey, we want this game on there. So that way when we launch, people are actually buying it.
Actually legitimately want it, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that's a lot what we did with Geek Out SA.
Yeah.
Is when we go through, we grew our viewership organically.
Yeah.
And we met the people.
Which I think is nice, because
Yeah.
then we get people that come on and chat, and like, you know, they're people that we've met at conventions, or people that we know out there in life from, you know, working at something or going to an event or whatever.
Yeah.
So they're actually genuinely interested, and most of them kind of know us and have had the chance to hang out with us. So they're watching the show, and it's kind of like they're just getting a continuation of kind of like hanging out with us. So
Yeah.
I think that that's a nice thing to do, because there are ways to pay for things like you said, and to get those, you know, likes or that viewership or whatever. But
because I've seen Vince, you, Sean at conventions, like just walking around, Sean lugging like an 80-pound backpack going, "Can I rest?" And, you know, just walking around talking to people.
you never rest at the con.
Oh,
And, you know, like on the third day, your legs are so tired, but you guys are like, we still want to talk to people. We still want to meet people. And that's what
Well, yeah,
it's
because
about.
you never know who's going to have a story to tell, you know, that we
Yeah.
can bring out here, and that people didn't know that they had that story to tell. Like, you have just told a really great story tonight that people in San Antonio may never have heard.
Yeah.
So, to me, that's important, you know?
I mean, that's how we met.
We just met playing Pokemon Go. So we're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm playing Pokemon. Me too.
I mean, I met you through him. I mean, Vince is always bringing people together. Like,
Yeah.
when he first met me, he was like, "Oh, you don't know this person? Oh, hey, here you go."
Meet the people.
Yeah.
And then now he's introducing people to me. I was like, cool. That'll work.
Turnabout is fair play.
Again, paid for it, you know.
I mean, when you treat people right, you know, good things happen for you. I mean, people are going to treat you right if you treat them right.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean,
my
eventually-
philosophy on things.
Eventually, if you don't treat people right, your true colors will show, you know, so, and people will know who you are.
No names spoken.
The two of you, seriously.
This is just getting.
It's inside anger. It's not even a joke.
Well, at least I'm not talking about that other guy
Or
that I don't like.
Okay, we're not going to talk about any of the guys we don't like, okay?
No, I mean, there are a few guys that I don't like. One in particular,
That was on King of the Hill.
I knew that's who you were talking about, too. I was going to ask you, does he have, like, a rub?
no, there is
He
only
rubs you the wrong way?
He
There is only-
rubs me the wrong way.
there is only one actor I can legitimately say I met him and I don't like him, and he was on Married with Children.
Oh, really? The little short one?
Yes,
Really?
David Faustino.
He was really nice.
He was not nice. He was. Oh my God! It was
Really?
like, yes.
What happened?
Like when I went to go meet him, there was nobody in his line.
Uh-huh.
You know, so
Because, like, who cares? You were on Married with Children 25 years ago. But
yeah,
anyway.
you know, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey, you know, nice to meet you, dude. I remember watching you, you know, growing up. Loved your work." And he was like, "Okay." I'm like, "So, you know, I want to just say thank you." And he's like, "Okay." Like, didn't even shake my hand, didn't even, you know, fist bump or anything. I know some actors, you know, have a phobia about that,
Mm-hmm.
but he was just saying, like, okay, that's all he was saying. And like, I met Pauly Shore, and, you know, he hasn't done anything in a little while, but I remember growing up watching Pauly Shore's movies, and, you know, I thanked him. Like, Encino Man, loved it.
Encino
you know?
Man's the best.
You know, and
Son-in-law's pretty funny.
yeah, son-in-law.
In the army now.
Yeah, you know, and I thanked him, and he was like, "Dude, thank you. You know, I did it, you know, for you guys. You know, at least, like, nobody was in his line, but at least he took time, you know, to say, you know, I appreciate you.
Good.
You know, and actors like that, I appreciate. But when David Faustino did that, it was just like, dude, you're not doing anything.
Like, yeah, you can't, like, have a conversation with me because you're obviously not that popular and cool. Get
Yeah.
over yourself.
He was really nice when we were talking to him
Really?
in the back.
Yeah. Like,
So I don't. Yeah, he was a real nice
I
guy.
don't know. Maybe somebody had
He was real chill.
Maybe somebody
Yeah.
had,
wet his
like,
Wheaties or something.
yeah, somebody probably rubbed him the wrong way. And if they did, you know, if they did, then I totally take that into account and consideration, and I will recant my statement. But because there have been times, I mean, I'm sure it's happened to you where somebody will rub you the wrong way, and it may rub off onto the next person where you're like, what? And
True.
normally I try to calm myself down before that next person comes up, but
So he's just like, Vince, I need to talk to you.
I've done that. I've done that plenty of times.
I know what you're gonna say.
I've done that plenty of times.
I know you're gonna say it about.
I've done that so many times. Vince, I need to talk to you.
Biodome. Biodome was one of my favorite movies growing up. Fulber says that was a good movie. You can dance if you want to.
I don't know. Encino Man was still better.
Encino Man's the best.
Yeah,
Encino Man is the best. That's the best Brendan Fraser. That's the best, like, Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
It's the best. 2.5 minutes.
I mean, where you get the weasel. Yes, you know.
Wheezing the juice.
I mean, that's where I actually learned my first Spanish from. Dona está la sanitario. I mean, just because of that movie, I know how to ask where the bathroom is.
I love Pauly Shore in the Goofy movie.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because he's still the same character as Encino Man, but he's in the Goofy movie.
Yeah. Well, very cool. Very cool. Well, Angel, thanks for coming by. Really appreciate it. We've got... I'm surprised it's taken this long for us to actually get together and sit down and actually have a show with you.
Yes.
I am too, I guess, because y'all do so many convention interviews that you don't think about it.
Yeah. And then we just kind of get busy, and then we haven't been doing, like, you're the first...
You are the first interview of 2017.
This year, 2017.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
And you're starting, like, a whole trend, because we've got them going for weeks.
We have them, like, lined up.
Well,
so you're
thank you for letting me be your first. Oh.
Yeah, sweet.
So, thanks for coming by. How do you get a hold of you if somebody wants to talk to you?
If somebody wants to talk to me, they can go to www.Hebi Studios. That's HEBI Studios, STUDIOS.com, or go to the Art Institute, talk to any of my interns, Dana, Paige. I mean, I'm really easy to get a hold of, and really, if you need any help or assistance, questions, comments, concerns, contact me.
And everybody can go play your little
Oop Boy,
on HebiStudios.com?
Yes, on HebiStudios.com, and be sure to check for us on Steam. We are shooting for an August 1st launch.
Okay, sweet. Well, then maybe we'll have to bring you back out.
Yes, definitely. I know when we first launched Rage Ball, you guys were there, and it actually meant a lot to me. You know, and again, that's why.
Sean too.
And Sean too. You know, all you guys. You know, you guys were there, and it just. I mean, it actually meant a lot to me. Yeah. I mean, I was so excited.
Patrick says, great guest, followed, etc. Hebi Studios. So awesome.
Well, thank you.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks for coming by. Again, it was really awesome. We're going to only do more things together and collaborate more and be out there for the community. But thanks for watching us. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, subscribe to us.
Do it now.
If you haven't liked us on Facebook, like us on Facebook. Do all the things, because we're on everything. But I'm Vince.
Sean's producing.
Hi.
There's Angel from Hebi Studios. Say hi to Dana in the background.
Hey.
And I'm Colleen.
And then back to me. Yeah. Geek out essay. Bringing in a new producer and outro right now.